Welcome to another edition of Buddi News Roundup. We will be talking about dogs rescued from a bad breeder, cat reunited with family, the Fort Worth Fire Department adopting a dog, and Coyote attacking a small dog. With me always are Layla and Nathan, and
Hello,
let's get to
hello.
it.
All right, let's jump into it. Our first story, we're going to go ahead, do a local one here from Fort Worth. That's pretty great.
A Fort Worth fire station has adopted a dog left outside the station with a heartbreaking note attached.
Yeah, Jake was found chained outside the station, station number 8. His owner said that he'd been experiencing homelessness and had some health issues and really just couldn't care for Jake any longer. Well, now Jake is being cared for, and his owner's decision to seek help is paying off in other ways as well. Fox 4's Amelia Jones is in Fort Worth with more. Amelia.
Hi there, Steve. Happy to report Jake is settling quite comfortably into his new home, and he's not the only one getting a little help. Spend a few minutes at Station 8, and you'd think Jake had always been a part of the crew. But his new life with the Fort Worth Fire Department started pretty recently, with a letter from an owner who loved him enough to let him go.
Touched my heart. I think all the guys here at the station were moved by it.
Jake's former owner, Tom, is a veteran who is currently experiencing homelessness. In the letter, he wrote that he can no longer take care of Jake as he works to get his life back on track. He emphasized how difficult the decision was and that it was the safe place sign that drew him to the station. He ended the letter by saying, "If you really care about helping babies, please help my baby." And the crew has done just that, taking him in.
He's a fixture here already, and we love him.
It's safe to say Jake is loving the station life too. But the Fort Worth Fire Department also wanted to help Tom.
While the guys here at Station 8 have done a great job with Jake, my team's thing is for those experiencing homelessness. So we've met with him. We're getting him connected to the resources that he needs, and hopefully getting his life back on track.
Sam Greif is the lieutenant that oversees the Homeless Outreach Programs and Enforcement, or HOPE team. Tuesday, the team did a medical assessment for Tom, took him to get dental work started, and was able to find him an RV through Operation Texas Strong, an organization that helps homeless veterans.
In talking with Tom, it was a hard decision to let Jake go. He looked at it as a child.
And he wanted to do what was best for him.
He's the epitome of a good dog.
If Tom is ever in a position to take him back,
Tom obviously poured a lot of love into that dog, and that would be a fitting end to the story.
But until then, Jake will always have a home with the crew at Station 8.
Dogs have a way about them. They connect, I think, with us in ways that sometimes we don't connect with each other. So he's pretty special.
A lot of people have been asking, how can I help? Well, the Fort Worth Fire Department says Jake is more than taken care of, so they don't need any donation items for him. But if you want to help Tom, you can donate to Operation Texas Strong, the organization helping with housing. The HOPE team plans to give Tom the RV tomorrow.
So sorry, love Jake. Love that he found a new place. I love his socks. It looks like he's wearing socks. His feet are all white, but just great story for it that his owner had the wherewithal to see the safe place sign and leave a little note. And I'm wonderful. He's getting help too. So just a nice positive story all the way around.
All I do is cry on this app. You started me out tough. That was a tough one. Look, we all know that the fire department is a safe place to drop babies. That's kind of like, we all know that. And it really touched my heart that he said, if you love babies, take care of my baby. That's just like.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, just a great story. I like that. He did the right thing for the dog. And hopefully he's a veteran. Hopefully he gets the help he needs to. There's some great foundations out there that do that. And also on a lighter note, I really like the fireman's name. I don't know if you noticed it, but his name is Dusty Sides. Dusty Sides. Yeah.
That is a good name.
That's a good name, Dusty Sides. I mean, come on.
I agree.
He was destined to be a fireman for sure with that
He
name.
sure was.
Yeah.
Fireman or cowboy, one of the two.
Right? Absolutely. All right. Our next story is from Springfield. Let's check it out.
Well, finally, they're called unicorn cats, and we have one right now in Springfield. The cat rescue Watching Over Whiskers recently took in this very rare male calico kitten. Only 1 in 3,000 cats born with calico markings are male. Shelter says it's the first one it's had since opening 12 years ago. He was a feral stray that got hit by a car. He's now getting the care he needs and is working on becoming a fully tame kitty.
He's adorable.
I know, and I got to hold him. I was
got to hold him. I'm sure you did. Yeah. Wow. I would like to hold him.
Put him
too.
right in my purse.
How cute.
Lucky, or not too lucky because he got hit by a car, but male calico, very, very, as they explained, very, very rare. So interesting that he is in Springfield. I don't know if it's a sign of something, but you never know.
He's very pretty, and I totally relate with the newscaster that said she just wanted to put him in her purse, because that's kind of what I try and do whenever I see a kitten, is put it in my bag and then maybe try and sneak it home. But then Ryan always finds me out, so I've not been successful in the purse transition.
I had never heard the term. Have you all heard that term, unicorn cat, before?
No, I hadn't heard it.
Yeah, no, that was pretty unique. But yeah, it was adorable kitten. Definitely love those eyes.
Super
All
cute.
right, we have another cat story, but this one's a cat being reunited with his family. It's a pretty great story.
Continuing to cover Colorado first now, in Summit County, we have a bit of a scary story, though one with a happy ending. A cat ended up lost in a blizzard at the Eisenhower and Johnson tunnels up at 11,000 feet, missing for days. Well, thankfully, due to a hardworking nonprofit, that cat has made its way back home. Your reporter in the mountains, Spencer Wilson, caught up with the heroes who brought this cat back to its humans.
Icy conditions up here led to the car with the cat getting rear-ended around the tunnels here. So when they pulled over to check the damage, the cat ended up getting out and running off into the woods. Now, it doesn't look like it right now, but there was blizzard conditions up here, which made rescuers worried the cat may not have long to survive out here. It's conditions you've likely driven through near the tunnels, but likely haven't spent much time wandering through for days, which is exactly what Aria, the cat, did after running from her family after a car accident at the top of the tunnels. Dispatchers got word to the Summit Lost Pet Rescue, a group of nonprofit volunteers who work on calls just like this, but not normally in this bad of weather.
It was the worst I've ever experienced. The winds were also blowing snow into the area, so all the little nooks and crannies that she could have got into were filling up with snow and making it more difficult for us to try to find her.
Crews went back day after day after day to try and find Aria in the snow. And finally, after 6 long days of searching, a tiny clue, a flash of movement out of the corner of a searcher's eye.
I know I'd looked under this same log at least 2 or 3 times before, but this time it was clear. The snow was completely gone, and I got under there, and of course she's a gray striped tabby, so she blended in quite well with a dead log, but spotted her.
Hidden deep under a log, trying her best to stay warm.
She was covered in snowballs. I'm so glad we got her when we did. I don't know how much longer she could have lasted out there. She was so cold.
They then sent a message to her owner, who'd also been back multiple times to search.
My house really powdered, so we're very happy to get her back.
And now,
come on, Aria.
She's home.
She do it like at least 80% better now, and she very happy to be home.
The reunion between the searchers and Aria's family is the reward that the searchers deserved.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the rescue team. Not thanking enough because they made my heart healing.
Because complete strangers who know how much a pet matters to a family simply wouldn't give up.
I just knew, once I saw her, I'm like, I am not coming off this mountain until you're with me.
What a precious cat. Glad she is back home with her family. Summit Lost Pet Rescue, by the way, does all of their work, again, as a nonprofit. So if you want to help them in their mission to continue reuniting pets with their owners, you can learn and find more information on our website, cbscolorado.com.
Love that last picture they showed of Aria because she's definitely smiling. She's definitely like, I'm warm. I never want to be cold again. I'm happy. We talked about unicorn cats. This is a unicorn cat. I do not know how they found her. I am so glad they found her. Total needle in a haystack. And kudos to the rescuers that kept going back day after day and not giving up. And neat that Aria had a happy ending.
I have so many thoughts on this, so I'm going to try and keep it. First of all, that's the prettiest cat. That's like, she's gorgeous. Secure your pet in your cars, dogs and cats. Like, that's why you need to. I've had situations where I've been moving and traveling and whatever. They will slide under seats. They will, when you open the door to put gas, like, they're just, especially cats, slinky and sneaky. Cats do not like snow. So I used to have a cat named Tinksy. She was a real badass and I loved her. But I lived in Wisconsin for a year and we'd lived in Arizona all the time before that. And I went to bring groceries in or something and I opened the door and she whipped past me and there was probably, I don't know, 6 inches or a foot of snow. And she was a snowshoe Siamese, which would tell you that maybe she could be in the snow. I don't know. It was really, her paws were all white. So that's why she was a snowshoe. But the minute her little paws hit that snow, you could literally see the thought bubble over her head, like, what the hell is this? And she immediately sprinted back in and never went to the door again the entire time we lived there. They do not like cold. I don't know how this cat made it that many days, but I don't know where they're trying to go when they're getting out. Like, where are you going? Who's going to love you and take care of you more than we are? So she got to see what it was like outside. It was very cold and ugly. And I don't think Aria will be doing that again.
No. Hopefully she doesn't have any more adventures like that. I really, identified with the surprise that the pet jumped out the window or didn't come back because we had, my dog Ace over here, when, he was fairly young, we were in the car driving. And I want it to be like everybody else, where you just have the window down and the dog sticks their head out. They just, love it. Well, the problem is that he has no forethought and just is all impulse. And so he saw a dog that he didn't like or whatever, and he went to jump out the window toward the dog. And if it wasn't for my daughter grabbed him by his hind legs, literally, and just like got him just in time to just like to stop him so she could pull him back inside.
Wow.
So yeah, to your point, yeah, you should really secure your dog in the car ride, or cat, because you just don't know. You don't know what might happen. So yeah, I'm glad the story ended so good.
Same.
All right, here's our next story.
Hopeful pet owners will now have less to worry about when adding a new member to the family. Unethical pet dealers like puppy mills can now be held responsible thanks to a new law. And this new bill is giving new hope to one local shelter. News 13's Ashley Uhas spoke with that shelter on how the bill could help dogs entering their facilities live healthier lives.
Governor Ron DeSantis signed a recent bill not only helping dogs like Eclipse right here, but also local humane societies like St. Joseph Bay, who are helping them find their forever home. Senate Bill 1004 will enforce unethical pet dealers to share their pets' medical records and financing terms with consumers before purchase, hoping to reduce harm associated with puppy mills. But that isn't all this bill will do to help people who want to add that furry friend to the family. Consumers will also be offered more time to decide on proper remedies when an animal is sick at purchase. Workers at St. Joseph Bay Humane Society in Port St. Joe says their #1 priority is to help animals, but hope this bill will reduce the amount of sick dogs walking through their doors.
Our shelter and our staff, we stand behind any law that strengthens the protections of animals and that hold people and facilities accountable for unethical practices. It frees up kennels for the ones that need the home. If we're full, we'll do whatever we can.
The shelter has been treating sick dogs left and right, and they blame backyard breeders for that. Backyard breeders are pet dealers who breed dogs outside of established breeding standards. The shelter says these dealers leave dogs sick and unvaccinated.
We have a lot of areas of backyard breeders. I would say 80% of those dogs are not spayed and neutered. Most of our dogs coming through are always testing heartworm positive. It's hard on their system, and it's not an easy thing to watch.
The Humane Society says they have even been receiving dogs from local animal control, and 2 days later, they would test positive for parvo, a virus that affects dogs. And the vet care they use for these animals comes right out of their budget. Now, it's not easy on the shelter to witness the repercussions from puppy mills or bad breeders.
I'm hoping the bill is really going to crack down on especially the breeders. It's awful if you go to a puppy mill or a backyard breeder, get a puppy, and then you deal with the animal passing because it hasn't been vetted or vaccinated. That's traumatizing.
But that isn't all they see the animals suffer from, thanks to these unfit pet dealers.
80, 90, 95% are underweight. Most are covered in fleas and ticks. Very much dehydrated. We deal with a lot of arthritis in young puppies right now because they did not get the nutrients from mom.
But they may not have to worry about animals facing this cruel treatment for long, since the bill will also require the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to release information about people convicted of animal cruelty. And the Humane Society is all for it.
I think that if you are charged with animal cruelty, abandonment, neglect, that your name should be out there with your first and last name. You should be known for what you have done to animals.
The shelter says they're hopeful the legislation will reduce the amount of sick and neglected dogs on the street and even through their doors. Reporting in Gulf County, Ashley Uhas, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
The bill goes into effect on July 1st.
I personally like it. Anything that's going to hold bad people that are doing bad things with dogs responsible, I'm all for it. And you know, Nathan and I were out at the National Dog Show, met a lot of very responsible breeders doing the right thing. We talk a lot about adoption and pets being in adoption centers. And so, you know, the people that are doing the right thing, they got nothing to worry about. The people that are not doing the right thing, they'll have something to worry about. Their names are going to be out there. And I personally think it's a good thing.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that they are giving good breeders a bad name. Look, I'm a big adopt, don't shop. I will never, ever, ever, ever take a pet from a breeder because there's so many babies that need love and there's so many out there. We cannot possibly find homes for all of these abandoned dogs and cats. We just can't. Like, there's just so many. So this bill is long overdue. This idea of a list should not just be with breeders. There's been stories recently. Someone just got arrested, I think, yesterday or the day before and I think it was Pennsylvania, and she was going around. People were putting cat food out for colonies and stray cats, and she was going out behind them and pouring bleach on all of the food. So someone videotaped her. Literally within 48 hours, she was arrested. It's like her name, first and last, should be on a list. And these people should never, ever, ever be allowed to adopt a pet, be near a pet, like nothing. Just you don't deserve them. The good people in the world don't deserve dogs and cats. So you definitely should be nowhere near one. And we've hit a button. See, Nathan, you always have to have one that just gets me.
Yeah.
Wrapped up.
You know, I keep it in mind. I keep in mind which one is going to be the Layla trigger story. That's the one I go for. So, I agree completely. I thought, sometimes, we don't want, my personal philosophy, we don't want the government doing too much. But this is one of those things where the government did a good thing down there for sure. I think it's a great policy. I hope other states do it. And have similar laws on the books because I think it's a nationwide problem. And, I think public shame for people who abuse animals is good. It's a good
Bring it
thing.
back.
It's all good. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Next story is a puppy found. It's a good story.
This puppy locked inside a hot car in Lake County, and this woman is accused of leaving the dog while she went shopping. Fox 35's Alexis Clevenger is joining us live now. So Alexis, it was like 90 degrees today, and we're told that the windows were barely cracked.
Yeah, that's right. And right now it's 88 degrees, and it can get even hotter inside your car. Take a look. Parts of our car are reading at over 120 degrees. Now imagine sitting inside that for 40 minutes. Well, that's what police in Lady Lake say happened to one puppy. Inside this car, a pup is scratching at the glass, just trying to breathe.
Dog's pretty warm. It's pretty hot in the car.
By the time Lady Lake police officers got there, they say this puppy had been trapped for 40 minutes. No shade, windows barely cracked, essentially an oven on wheels.
Look at that, we got our unlock kit. This one don't want to open. Here. Come on. It's hot in here. Come on. Come on, boys.
It's pretty dangerous temperature for the dogs, especially, that the temperature rises so quickly in vehicles.
They didn't waste any time. Body camera video shows them getting the door open, scooping her up, and hauling her straight into the air conditioning of their patrol car.
I mean, it's a puppy. Fingers are cooking.
She drank a whole bottle of water almost instantly. While she was cooling down, police say her owner, Eunice Morjon, walked up. Her excuse, she allegedly told police she was only in the store for 30 seconds and the line was long.
Turn around. I'm going to arrest you for animal cruelty.
How's it cruelty?
You want to sit in that hot car for as long as that dog was?
Windows are down.
Police didn't see it that way. They arrested her for animal cruelty. Chief Steve Hunt says it's simple. If you're in Florida, your car can hit 110 degrees before you even get through that long line. And this puppy got lucky because a stranger saw something and called 911.
Boy, what could have happened, a death of an animal, or even, even children. It's just such a dangerous thing to think of. So we're hopeful that people will be more mindful and be responsible.
And Chief Hunt is urging dog owners, if you don't have to bring them out, leave them at home, especially in this Florida heat. Reporting live, Alexis Clevenger, Fox 35 News.
Much as I love pets, much as I love cats and dogs and all other assorted animals, I am a big believer of also keeping your pet at home. Service dog, that's a whole other story. I'm not even talking about that at all. Leave your pets at home. And this is just heinous. I'm glad the cops were there. I'm glad she's being cited. I really sincerely hope for some reason, they don't give that dog back to her. I've just got a bad idea, like if she's going to take it out on the dog. I could be totally wrong, just my opinion. But just leave your dog at home.
Congratulations, Nathan.
You don't need to take your dog to run errands.
No. Congratulations, Nathan. You had two stories that are going to enrage me today. So I want to start with chanting, lock her up, do not let her out. Like, lock her up.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. She's so indignant when they're arresting her. Like, what are you arresting me for? What is wrong with people? Why do you even have pets? I don't understand why you have these pets when you treat them like this. Like, no one's making you have a pet. No one said you will, by order of law, go get 2 dogs and 2 cats. Nobody told you that. Don't take the pets. And again, bring out the list, put her on a list. She can never adopt a pet. I don't understand people. I really don't. And I don't know how you live in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and you don't know these things. I baffled.
Yeah. Well, and she's in Florida, so she will be on that list now. So that's good.
Good.
I think,
They should put it in
on the
all
bright
caps,
side,
bold, and
the
put her at the
puppy,
top of the list.
yeah, I'm glad someone saw something. So I think that's it's a good public service that if you see a dog trapped in a car and then Texan heat, Florida heat, anywhere where it's hot, definitely call the police because they will dole out some justice. And I think that's a good thing.
I mean, even if it's 75, 80 degrees in a hot car with no air running and barely a window cracked, it's going to get hot real fast.
Absolutely. All right, we got one more story. Here we go.
5:30. Imagine your dog being dragged away by a wild animal right in front of you. It really sounds like a nightmare, but it was a real life moment for one family in Wallingford over the weekend. Your reporter Taylor Knight spoke to the man who heard the whole thing and has a warning for other pet owners.
It started out as a normal Saturday night on this street in Wallingford for Ed Doran and his family.
Laying on the couch, watching TV with my daughter.
But then all of a sudden, everything changed.
I started hearing a dog bark in distress, and then the distress barks got a lot worse. And then, like 30 seconds after we first started hearing it, I went outside, and you kind of heard the dog's last yelp.
Another neighbor describing it as, quote, the worst thing I've experienced in my lifetime. A small dog taken away by a coyote right in the backyard and dragged into these woods behind the house. Doran's son rushed over to help.
He was helping the family, I guess, look through the yards in the woods.
But sadly, the little dog still hasn't been found. Right now, coyote pups are being born. Father coyotes become more aggressive as they protect their den and find food for mom and babies. The Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection says that coyotes are opportunistic hunters and have been known to prey on and attack small pets. Doran has come face to face with them while out with his two dogs.
When the dogs came out, one of them kind of gestured towards the yard. I looked over, about 20 feet away, there was just as big as my dog, and he's 120 pounds.
That big?
The coyote was massive.
To keep your animals safe, Deep is urging that you do not let your pets roam free. Always walk your dog on a leash, never feed a coyote. And if you see one near your yard, make noise and try to scare it away so it doesn't come back, potentially saving your pet from a terrifying and deadly situation. Your reporter in Wallingford, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
You don't normally think of coyotes in Connecticut. I think that's the title of a book, or could be. But apparently they're there. And yeah, I mean, hey, it's still a wild kingdom out there. It's probably going to be unpopular. Really, the coyote did nothing wrong. Coyote's doing what a coyote does. You should keep your pet inside. If it's in your yard, have a fence around it, or keep an eye on them. Another thing that they didn't talk about are big birds. They can take away a small dog like a chihuahua or a cat. Your animal's gone. So just be advised out there. Watch for coyotes, especially in Connecticut, which I didn't know was a thing. We've got them out here in Texas. We had them in Phoenix, Arizona too, but they go pretty far north.
Yeah, look, I think the tips were that's always my biggest fear, is that a coyote's going to come grab any of the animals. And so even when they're in your yard, I think to be vigilant and keep your eye out and be out there. But I'm always surprised at the number of people I see walking their dogs without a leash and saying like, oh, my pet's good. It's like not always. It's like when I started driving, my parents were very protective. And I said, I know I'm a good driver. And they said, it's not you I'm worried about. It's everybody else. Same thing. Like, it's not your dog I'm worried about. It's everybody else's animals, cars, dogs. Like, dogs are still animals and they're going to react on instinct. And if they take off on a split second and they're not on a leash, it can end badly for everybody. So it's scary.
Yeah, I agree completely. It was a good reminder, public safety announcement. That's one of the things we can do on this program, is let people know, just a reminder, watch out for the coyotes. Make sure your yard is secure so they can't get in. If you've got any holes in the fence or anything like that, patch those up, because, they're wild animals. Coyotes are wild animals looking for food.
They're just trying
you don't
to
have
eat.
anybody taking care of them, and if your dog looks like food, they'll take it. So
Yeah.
it's a good reminder for sure. All right, I think we got one more story here. This is actually, I think, the last story.
Well, there is a desperate call for volunteers and supplies after law enforcement seized dozens of dogs from a Great Dane breeder in Newton County. The Kansas City area rescue Daisy's Dane Sanctuary says that 75 dogs, including 36 Great Dane puppies and 1 doodle, were taken into protective custody. They say many of them were underweight, neglected, and had bite marks. Sarah Metz lives in Republic. She adopted a Great Dane from the Daisy Sanctuary and then started volunteering for them. She says the shelter is overwhelmed and needs a lot of boots on the ground to help care for all of the seized dogs.
A lot of these dogs are malnourished and need veterinary care, as well as special food.
Most of them had fleas and ticks all over them. Some had parasites. So, yeah, the medical expense, the cost of all of it is huge. She has all of these dogs and needs volunteers and supplies and help.
The dogs, ranging from newborns to seniors, are not available for adoption right now, but they will need foster homes or new homes once the criminal investigation wraps up. If you'd like to help out by volunteering or making a donation, we have a link to Daisy's Dane Sanctuary in this story at ky3.org.
Ultimately a happy story, right? Because the Danes were rescued and hopefully they'll, get healthy, get adopted out. I wish this place was down in Florida because they would get some tough new laws thrown at them. But hopefully they throw the book at them and be advised. Nathan and I are working on a story to bring you guys about a horse rescue. That's a good horse rescue that's doing good things. But they may be taking in a bunch of horses from a bad horse rescue. So if you're ever if you can't care for your animal, you think you're doing the right thing, and you're giving it to a sanctuary, really, can I have a walk around? Can I see what's going on here? Anybody who's running a top-notch sanctuary is going to say, yeah, come on, let's take a little 5-minute walk. If they don't want you to see the sanctuary, be advised, something shady might be going on, and they might just be in a bad spot where they can't say no, and they're taking way too many animals that they can care for. And I'm not saying this happened here in this particular case, but something to be advised about.
I'm going to blow your mind, Nathan. So here's what I'm going to start by saying. These people, I think, every one of them starts out with good intentions. I don't think they intend to hoard animals. I don't think people start this thinking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to abuse all these animals. I don't think that's the case. But man, you better wake up fast when you realize you have too many animals, you don't have the resources. And I know it's hard, but man, oh man, now you are in a big mess and these animals are not better for it. It's a sad story. I'm so tired of seeing these stories where these sanctuaries get overwhelmed. Clearly, back to adopt, don't shop. If we had enough people adopting, we wouldn't have these situations. We had enough people spaying and neutering their pets, we wouldn't have these situations.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Be a responsible pet owner. Be responsible. When you get a dog or cat, spay and neuter them immediately. They do not need to be breeding and having multiple litters. They just don't. Man, it's just a sad story. I'm glad they've got them in a spot where they're going to be taken care of, but this is another tough one. 3 this time, Nathan. 3 getting me all excited. My heart can't take it.
Yeah, it's funny, I think you're right. I think people go into these things with good intentions. I think, my own experience, the one time that we've got a dog from breeder was for a Great Dane because we wanted to get, I wanted to surprise my wife with a Great Dane. She always wanted a Great Dane. So I went to a breeder and, I don't know what I'm looking for. I didn't know what anything, and so I got it. It turns out she's deaf and partly blind, and didn't know that. But by the time we found out, because we got her as a puppy, we were already attached, and everything, and it turns out being great. I mean, I'm glad we got her, but it was unfortunately it was a breeder who didn't know what they were doing, and they bred 2 dogs double morals that you're not supposed to do, and that produce blind and deaf, pups. So, it's a murky world out there sometimes in the breeding world. So do your research for sure. All right, well, that's it today.
All right, thanks, and we'll do it again very soon.